What's up guys, welcome to Shalala. This is a channel where we speak about Shanghai, about its history, about architecture, about lifestyle, and of course about the food. My name is Ivan Fetkin, this is a friend of mine and our co-host
Sergey.
And we are, as you understand, in Shanghai, and this is Huaihai Park. Very nice place, lots of old people chilling out here, but things are not that simple. This place, like 60-70 years ago, was a cemetery, and we're gonna speak about this in this episode, and gonna tell you about some other places in Shanghai that now are parks, but not that far time ago was a cemetery. So let's go, Sergey.
Yes, so we are in Shanghai, and it's a beautiful end of November Sunday, and the word Shanghai is on the sea. So it's a city that has always been extremely flat and was covered in small rivers and canals. So this road over here used to be a river, and people were transporting goods and stuff on it. And there was a bridge across this river just here, and it was called Ba Qian Qiao. So it's a bridge of 8 saints, and it gave the name to the cemetery. It was called Paxinzhao in Shanghai dialect, Paxinzhao Cemetery, but it was done by foreigners because okay, here is the map of the wonderful Huaihai Park.
Yeah, please keep attention, guys. This is not like every park. This is a 3-star park of Shanghai in 2003. So
I never go to 3-star parks.
I mean, yeah, as you can see, we're fancy
normally...
guys. Only 5-star parks for us, but as an exception, only for you today.
Yes. So going back to the whole history. So Shanghai started as just a point where foreign countries could open their offices and for trading. So the Bund, the first line, was effectively in the beginning just a very small point where people could come, have an office, live and trade. And nobody expected the city to grow so fast and to expand so fast.
Yeah, to be precise, we're speaking about 1850s, something like this.
Exactly. So this place was selected as a really, really far away area outside of Shanghai in 1863. So the municipality bought this piece of land as a cemetery. Now we are maybe 1.5 kilometers from the Bund.
Yeah,
and we're in the very, very central Shanghai because it was expanding so fast. So
it's like 1860s, something. 1860s. At that time, the government of Shanghai built here a cemetery. It was like a city plan. It was not like just by accident. So it was planned to build a cemetery here.
It was a French concession. We're now in French concession. We'll talk about concessions later on. But it was bought by the French municipality outside of the concessions at that time. At that time, it was just someone's.
It's like a field or something.
Someone's fields, exactly. Exactly, because clearly Chinese peasants were living everywhere and they were drawing. That's an interesting exercise that this gentleman is doing. So he's just beating himself on the back with some heavy object. As you can see, there are hardly any children.
That's quite strange.
In the park, because children are doing what?
Studying to get a good job, to get a good school, to get a good university, to become successful. That's Chinese government recently, they banned or like hardly canceled lots of tutor centers, so kids like on paper supposed to have like less pressure, but in fact they still get tons of pressure because they want to study good, like all the A's in class and stuff.
Yeah, I'm very sorry. Chinese little guys in big cities like Shanghai, they have a lot of pressure. They need to work so hard, and yeah, they don't play in the parks.
So they don't end up as YouTubers.
Yeah, but on the other hand, old people have a lot of free time and they're totally relaxed. In China, I think people retire at about 57, I think, 58?
No, it's like something 60s. Yeah.
Anyway, so old guys like these guys have a lot of free time, especially during the weekends. And so this is a birds lover club. So the guys are just coming, bringing their birds, and having a chat.
Yeah,
so no alcohol is involved.
Yeah, that's maybe some are hidden, but they're not drinking. And guys, for those of you who are not in China, who's not familiar, disclaimer: these birds are not for food. So be cool. These birds are for joy. That's all good here. Anyway, we're coming to the main part of the park. Now you're gonna see the trees are still there, and we're gonna show you a picture of the cemetery, how it looks before, and you can still see the lines, the alleys of the cemetery is still visible here.
Yeah, so these trees, they were effectively bordering the main lane. They were just marking the border of the main cemetery lane, and there was a chapel here. So most of the people that were buried here were foreigners, but there were also some Chinese Christians who were buried here as well. So altogether, there were about 5,000 graves here, and then it became a cemetery in 1951.
Yeah,
stopped being a cemetery in 1951.
yeah. So to explain where is the cemetery now, why it disappeared, we'll try to go easy on this part because we are living in China, so should be careful. But for you to understand, the thing is, in 1949, the PRC government turned into PRC government. The new power came, and the political vision did change. So this cemetery that was connected with foreign presence in China was changed into a park. So now it's a park. And interesting thing, on the left side we have a fire station. It's also a historic building, and more interesting, we have a fire station gym where guys are training their physique to save you from the fire if you're charging your scooter battery at home, what you're not supposed to do.
It's surprising that there are no girls with mobile phones standing and watching firemen exercising, right?
Oh, they're busy watching our channel.
It could be such a big attraction.
Anyway, we're gonna stop by this beautiful building, and we're gonna go to our next destination because we have one more cemetery to show you. It's not a cemetery, it's a park now. And stay with us till the end of the video, because after this optimistic topic of the episode, we're gonna show you one very nice restaurant. And guys, small tip, if you are in Shanghai, or if you only plan to go visit Shanghai, when you're walking around the city, keep attention and check the signs on the buildings like this or this. This can show you the small history of the building. So this one is the site of Rue Paul Brunet fire station.
Mais oui. But at the same time, very often they have mistakes. So, but it's still, if you have a plaque like this, it means that it's an important building.
Yeah, stick with us. So we're gonna tell you all the proper stuff without any mistakes. Anyway, we're going. And we at our second destination point. This is Jing'an Park, very beautiful place, a lot of malls, lots of shopping centers around, but in fact this place also was a cemetery just about 70 years ago. And let's go and speak about this interesting place.
Yeah, no, we just discovered, we were reading the information, and we just discovered that fishing and shrimping is potentially allowed under certain circumstances.
It's like button if you're about to shrimp.
So yes, this is Dinan Park. This is another cemetery. That road over here, which is a very, very busy road that everyone who has been to Shanghai has taken, Yan'an Lu, that used to be a dividing road between the French concession and the international settlement. So we are now just in the very beginning of international settlement. But very long time ago, in 1898, the government of the international settlement, they bought this piece of land which was very, 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 very far away, and made it a cemetery. So people were buried here from 1989 to 1998 to 48. So the last person was buried here just before the liberation of China.
As we speak before, after 1949, some major changes was made, and this place was transformed from a cemetery to a park. But still, you can see some interesting remaining things from the cemetery.
Yeah, so this is a small pavilion over here that Andre will show you in a second, where all gentlemen are playing different board games. That looks like totally out of place, right? Marble white thing.
There is you can still see a bit of a text on the Capuro.
Wow, I haven't seen that before.
Andrew, can you? Kapurogino, видишь текстик?
Genova. Yeah. So
Genova.
there's
It's
someone.
right. Yeah, we never seen this before, so it's an interesting thing.
Yeah. So that used to be effectively a pavilion with a few different graves, but interestingly, yeah, the name still remains. So they use the same marble from one of the.
And let me go a bit how to say it, clickbaiting, gambling on the graves. Anyway, that's a nice park, but yeah, still was a cemetery before. And Sergey, I heard you know some famous people who was buried in this place.
Yeah, again, that was a foreign concession cemetery, so most of the people were buried here were foreigners, but there were also something like 700 Chinese graves here, mainly Christian Chinese. And there was the most famous guy who was buried here was Henry Lester. He was a British guy who worked in the British Municipal Council and
In Shanghai.
In Shanghai, and he made himself very rich because at that time, okay, how do you say it? Yeah, you could.
He was using some inside information
for buying land, and so he knew where the city was expanding, and so he was buying land in the areas where the city was expanding.
Like this one.
But he was a good guy in the end because all the money that he made, he donated after his death. Everything, 100% of his fortune went for construction of schools for Chinese people. So the number of different educational institutions were sponsored by his wealth.
Yeah, and you can see this park is more busy than the previous one. Some live performance, some kids.
So yeah, pensioners are enjoying their time as always, and yeah, so some people are listening to national minority music. It looks like it's a national minority day because there were a few guys in Tajik uniforms.
Yeah, in one of the minorities of China. We're not going to emphasize that topic. Let's skip to something more interesting.
Yeah, so you can see this is the alley, which was the central cemetery alley, and it's still stained trees are still here. And this is the only place in Shanghai where people can come and play music, and they receive some money for it. So street performers are generally not
banned or
not allowed in Shanghai, but this is a place where you can do it. I don't know how they are booking their slots. Do you have to register?
I'm sure there's some app on WeChat or somewhere.
Like so Ivan is, for example, is a beautiful singer. So maybe next time you can perform some of the Ukrainian folk songs.
Yeah, we'll think about this. And we're coming to one of the most popular places of Shanghai. It's Jing'an Temple.
Yeah, so all the foreigners that are coming to Shanghai visiting, to tourists, they're always going here. This is a very, very new thing. As you can imagine, it looks traditional and it's built in a traditional style, but it was all built in the 90s. Original Jing'an Temple moved here in 16th century, and it was a small, very, very small building which doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah, but it's not a big thing. Like lots of Buddhist temples, like not even China, but also Japan and Korea, they're like rebuilt, or like they built to look like old. So it's.
Yeah, in general, I think the concept, the attitude towards buildings in China is slightly different. So it's not like in Egypt, and then the same tradition came to Europe where you're building something forever. In China, it has always been very practical. So you built a building, you use it, then you take it down, then you build another one.
Yeah.
And it's the same style or different style. So same thing was here. So this road is now Nanjing Xilou, which everybody knows, Nanjing West Road, the biggest shopping street in Shanghai. But in all times it was called Bubbling Well Road during concession, because here there was a big well, bubbling well, just next to the temple. But it didn't survive, it doesn't exist
What is
anymore.
it, bubbling well?
Bubbling well. Just a well where there was some water was coming out of the ground, so you could come and just take some water. And now I think we're going
Food
to
time.
go.
So we're back with you, and the place we are now called Fuchun Xiaolong, Shanghai Fuchun Xiaolong. The address of the place is going to be in description to the video. What we can say about this place? We ordered, I think, 4 dishes. We ordered this pork chop.
One more is coming.
Yeah, we have the pork chop, then 2 portions of Xiaolongbao, this dumplings. Then we have their noodles, this kind of a spring roll with vegetables. And one more is coming, the crab Xiaolongbao.
We're in the middle of being served of a selection of things in its very small restaurant, but very famous with the Chinese community. As you can see now, it's already almost 3 o'clock.
It's not regular time for Chinese people to eat. Most of the people like here used to have lunch like
12 o'clock, but it's still very, very busy, so it's always busy. Still belongs to the government. And so the service here, for example, there is another hall, and they said that, sorry, we stopped working at 2 o'clock. So it's not very customer-oriented in a way, but the food is very good. So let's try this while it's hot.
Yeah, so this one, it's for you, if you're not familiar, it's Xiaolongbao. It's kind of dumplings made in Shanghai way.
So the trick is that there is a soup inside.
Yeah.
So when you eat it, it has to be extremely careful because it can be extremely hot soup.
Yeah, the vinegar. And Sergey just did the mistake. He was trying to prevent.
Very hot, but very tasty.
Some medicine for you. Anyway, the place, to be honestly, looks quite crappy, but it creates even more atmosphere. On the back, on the wall, you can see a picture of the original building. Yeah, now it's located in a kind of new one, but as the story says, the kitchen here and the people who work, it's still being quite authentic. And let's get back to the food. Sergey.
This is nothing special.
Nothing special?
I asked the lady to recommend. There are no waiters here, so you go to the counter to order. So she said, I recommend you this. I said, okay.
This one is pork, right?
Yeah.
It looks like quite like Japanese one, like.
Yeah. But Xiaolongbao is great, so I highly recommend you try it.
Oh, okay.
It's hot inside, but be careful.
Just like my ex-girlfriend.
And this one, okay, this is also spring roll. Shouldn't be anything special. That's right.
What's inside?
谢谢。你有三个小丸子吗？哦，好了。So the service is very basic here. You ask for something, they say, okay, you go there. So they don't bring it to you. So we will try a little bit later.
What's that?
That's noodles.
Yeah, curry soup noodle?
Curry noodles, yeah.
Oh, okay.
They said that's a famous one here. So it's not bad. It's not bad. But Din Tai Fung is a little bit more customer-oriented, a little bit more delicate. This one is very tasty, but it has a lot of flour, and the skin of the dumpling is very thick.
Anyway, that's a thing in China when you hang out with locals, and people go like, "Hey, I'm gonna show you like the cool local place." Usually they take you to a place like this, so it won't impress you, but for more understanding of the local stuff, like it's a place to go. Anyway, we just tried our final dish, the crab dumplings, crab Xiaolongbao. What would you say? How do you like it?
3 out of 5.
It's not bad. It's okay. Yeah, you can feel it's a lot of crab meat. It's juicy. Not bad. Good to try. So if you go here, myself personally going to recommend this crab Xiaolongbao. What about the noodles? Did you like it?
No.
Yeah. So if you get this place, just crab Xiaolongbao, gonna be okay. And how you call them in Chinese?
Which one?
The crab Xiaolongbao.
螃蟹小笼包.
螃蟹小笼包. Okay, just print screen this name in Chinese, show the waiter, and you'll get it.
Yeah, because they don't speak English obviously, and they don't have any English menu here, and they don't have any menus because you just go there and you order it over the counter.
Yeah, and the place is quite busy, so don't be shy. If no free tables available, just come to your nearest granny and ask if you can sit with her.
Yeah, that's exactly what we did. It was a granny, but she got scared with 3 foreigners that got surrounded by 3 foreigners.
No, in fact, she didn't give a damn like that we were sitting around. Andrew was filming her like this, and she was like, "Go on." Anyway, guys, this was our first episode, or the second. We'll see how the production goes. Thank you for staying with us till the end of the video. Hit the like, hit the subscribe button, and keep in touch.
So next time we're going to go to even worse restaurant, which we will be recommending you.
Okay, anyway, have a good time, guys. See you.
Bye.
And the total for this
140.
is 140 renminbi. It's,
Yeah, so it's like $20.
$20, yeah.
So $7 per head, roughly.
Yeah. How's the food for you? Do you like it? It's authentic.
It's okay.
It's authentic. I won't say it's not tasty. It's a good food, but if you're a foreigner in China,
You're
this will
spoiled.
not impress. Yeah, you're spoiled first of all, and second, this probably will not impress you. But for local people, that's so-called institution. As Sergey told me, he had
Oh, 谢谢。这个。
wait a minute, take a minute. 谢谢。
I could have done it myself.